Yo, what's happening everybody? It's Bodhi with TheFloatLife, and today I want to talk to you guys about Shuv-Its. So shoves are a tricky one. They're a very tricky one, especially for people like myself that have prior skateboard experience and know how to pop shove it on a skateboard. Because on a skateboard, you're scooping with your back foot, not really doing anything with your front foot until the board comes around, then you catch it, put it down. It's completely different physics with the Onewheel, because if you try to scoop your Onewheel and shove it, you're gonna accelerate it backwards. And when you try to shove it, it's gonna roll over on its side. These ones are tricky, but they're pretty easy to dial in and figure out. I know how to do them, so I'm gonna show you how to do them, and then we'll all be able to do them together. So let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, there's a few key things we want to focus on while we're executing on this trick. Now, one of the most important things is keeping our feet flat. If you remember the body varial video, I believe, we talked about jumping from our ankles with our feet flat. This definitely is really key to this one. Keeping your feet flat is super duper important on this one, because it's going to keep the board flat and keep the Shuv-It continuing. Now, the other really important thing is that you're pushing with your front foot and pulling with your back foot, keeping that board again level. So flat feet, jump from the ankles, push with your front foot, pull with your back foot, keeping your feet dead flat. All right, let's break this down. So we got our approach first. It's basically impossible to do this one moving. You can correct me if I'm wrong, prove me wrong, but this one's definitely a very slow moving trick, if not fully stopped. So typically if I worked in into a line or something like that, I come in, smash the brakes, come to a stop, hit the shove, take off. So you want to be going very slow, if not stopped. Now the load up, you're loading up, bending your knees down, thinking about keeping those feet nice and flat, jumping from the ankles. That's what should be running through your mind as you're dropping down for the trick. Now, as you're jumping up, right from the moment you start jumping, you start pushing. It makes it a lot easier if you, I guess it's kind of cheatering it a little bit, but if you kind of start the push before your feet leave the board, that helps it stay flat. It kind of creates the momentum that's gonna keep it going flat. So as you're pushing up for the takeoff, you're pushing your front foot forward, pulling your back foot back, and right as you're ready to leave the board, your legs are almost fully extended. That's when you hit that last little, you just push it, something like that. Push it, flat feet, jumping from the ankles. And if you do that properly, you jump fully flat-footed, you push and pull from both feet, then that board's gonna come around perfectly. Now, once you're in the air, you're visualizing, looking down at your board, kind of planning when you're gonna throw your feet down. Typically, I'll start bringing my feet down when the board's about 80 to 90% of the way through, so that by the time my feet come down and make contact, I'm perfectly parallel to the way I started. Then once you land, right when your feet are contacting the board, shift your mind to thinking about rolling away in that same direction you approached in. Or if you're on like a bank or for whatever reason, you're trying to do the shove and then just go back the other direction, think about that. But basically, as soon as your feet make contact on the board, or right before even, if you're quick enough, just think about rolling away and make that happen. So to cover that, come in at a very slow, if not stopped speed, load up, start pushing the board into the shove as you're extending your legs for the jump. Right as you jump off the board, pushing with the front foot, pulling with the back foot, flat feet, jumping from the ankles. Now once you're in the air, you're looking at the board, getting ready to put your feet down on it. Then once the board comes around, you make contact with those foot pads, we're thinking about rolling away. It's that simple. It's definitely one that is really hard at first, and what's typically gonna happen is your board's gonna roll over on its side. If the board rolls over on its side, that means you're either pushing down on one foot too hard, or you're pushing on your toes or your heels. So get some practice on this one. It might help if you can find a place where you can hold on to something, just for that added sense of security. Hold on to something, throw a couple, throw a couple, throw a couple. I've seen some people do shoves, even 360 shoves, where their tail is down and their nose is up, and they start the shove basically from the ground and then they land on it. Could be a nice way to practice it and kind of cheater it and figure it out. But just be patient with yourself, like I always say, and put some work into it, get it dialed in, and then stomp it. And once you stomp it, send it over to me so we can get stoked about it together. All right, y'all, that's it. That is how you do a Shove-It. If you guys have any questions, you're struggling with anything, or you just want to take a deeper dive into it, please feel free to reach out to me personally on Instagram, @Bodhi Harrison. I'm always happy to help. I love to teach, so give me the opportunity. If you want your board looking sick, kitted up, nice and protected, you want to pull up to the group ride and have the ladies be checking you out like, dang, what's that? Oh my God, your board is so cool. What you got on there? You want that? Pull up to our website, www.TheFloatLife.com. We got everything you need for your board. We got float plates, grip tape, foot pads, fenders, everything you need. We got it. Check us out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can follow along with future TFL trick tips and all the other shenanigans we're up to. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you float on, my friend. Ow! You stoked to go ride? I'm stoked to go ride. I'm gonna go ride. You should too. But if you're not, definitely subscribe to our channel or check out one of these 2 videos. I'm gonna go get my shred on.